I was just young and dumb. I'm sorry, you were married to a man with three
I was.
kids. Was he working?
Hmm. Yes, sir.
Did you have to work?
I didn't have to.
So you were married to a man that you didn't have to work and you had all three of your kids, and yet you thought you could divorce him and find better. Great. Before you met him at 27, between 18 and 27, what happened here?
I was with him as my high school sweetheart. Is that a whoop?
So you were with a man that you've known and you've seen him grow from high school to 27. He married you, put you in a position that you did not have to work. You had three children, yet you decided to divorce him and go elsewhere. And then you want to talk about how you struggled to be something. See, that's where all that comes in place. Nobody's going to give you credit for struggling. You chose it.
Agree. Like I said, I was young and
No,
stupid.
ma'am, some of you don't deserve a second chance.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry to tell you this. A lot of men will hear that and say, wait a minute, you found a good man. He married you. He sat you down. You had three children and you divorced him for no good reason. This is how men are going to hear this. I married my high school sweetheart almost 10 years after college, after high school. I did not have to work. He took care of everything. All I had to do was be the wife and have babies. And he took care of it. But that still wasn't good enough. I divorced him. Then I had to go out and struggle on my own. Now I look back and say I was young and dumb. Most men are going to say, you don't deserve a second chance. I'm not saying that's what a lot of men are going to hear. And you had a husband paying all the bills. And you
There's been a lot of conversation lately about women leaving good men or women walking away from a man that's a quote unquote good man. And I think a part of the problem is that a lot of men define themselves as good men and they actually aren't. These self proclaimed good men think that they are because they don't cheat on women or beat on women. But it takes more to being a good man than not doing those things. And just because a man is a quote unquote good man doesn't mean he's the good man for you. Some of these quote unquote good men don't respect women. They weaponize their incompetence. They don't take care of their children. They're disrespectful. They consume manosphere red pill content all day and they think that women are beneath them. I feel like the men who are acting as if women are being too picky or we're looking for the perfect man if we don't want the quote unquote good guy, it's the same energy as saying for them to settle. It's like the saying goes, give a man 10 women and he'll keep looking. Give a woman 10 men and she'll choose. They want you to choose out of this small batch of men and say, hey, out of these 10 guys, which one do you want? Yeah, but there's more than 10 guys out there. And even if he's the nicest out of the 10, doesn't mean that he's what I want. These men want single women to say close enough, he's good enough, he'll do, but that's not what men say. They take their time. They're in no rush to find what they want, but they want to rush you along. They want to make you feel like you're up against the clock. You're running out of time. Your childbearing years are over. That's why they try to tell you that after 25 you're no good and all that. They have a vested interest in trying to hurry you up and picking one of them because they know if you actually took your time, they wouldn't even get picked.
All right, y'all. Why do some women leave when men hit rock bottom? Let's get into it. Y'all heard this quote and it resonated with me. So much so that I'm going to say it twice. A woman's loyalty is tested when her man has nothing. A man's loyalty is tested when he has everything. I'm going to run it back. A woman's loyalty is tested when her man has nothing. A man's loyalty is tested when he has everything. Let that resonate.
Like Tia Mowry, leaving your husband was the dumbest thing you could have ever done. A lot of women are way too comfortable with breaking up their families all because they're not happy. So what does that even mean? What does you're not happy really mean? Women think because someone else's life looks better or their marriage looks happier based on materialistic things or the home that they live in, so you think that you're not happy. You can't do it anymore. You'll remove your kids from the home that they've always known, the home that they've come to with their mother and their father, all because you're not happy. You're bored. You want to pursue other things. You're older now, so I see life in a different way. What does that mean? That's insane. But too often we see women who are filing for divorce. Women are more likely to file for divorce. And again, I'm not condoning just being with a man who's not treating you right. I'm not condoning abuse, none of that. But there are a lot of women who use this, I'm not happy, I had to leave my marriage, I had to walk away from a relationship, all because it wasn't fun anymore. And it ain't always going to be fun. You're not going to always wake up happy. You're not going to always go to bed happy, but that doesn't change the love, and that does not change the commitment that you made upon God. But too often, too many women leave and break up their family because they were bored. Look at Tia Mowry. Why would you leave your husband? What reason did that woman have to leave her husband? And then you out here talking about how it's hard to date. Why would you leave? That was insane.
There's this woman on here saying that her friend divorced her husband because she was bored. She was a stay-at-home mom with the kids. According to her, he was working way too many hours, wasn't able to spend time with them, and he was always tired. So she just divorced him. Fast forward 3 years, looks like she got all of that out her system because now she wants to settle. Basically, she wants her old life back. She doesn't want to work. She wants a man that would allow her to be a stay-at-home mom, take care of the kids, take care of the home, and again, her old life back. Her problem is that she's having a really hard time finding somebody who's willing to do that. But that's not even the worst part of the story. The ex-husband was single for 1 year and has been in a stable relationship for 2 years, and on top of that, he's taking care of his new wife's kids. Now, according to the friend of the ex-wife, the person telling the story, the woman who forcibly divorced her husband because she was bored at home is pissed because he's now providing for his new wife and her kids. Now, can you imagine being the destroyer of your own marriage and then you get mad when the other person decides to move on? They had no guarantee that they were going to be able to, but they found a way. And the only reason you're mad is because you can't find yours. You used to have the life that you wanted, and you gave it up because you wanted to live a different life with or without your man. Now, I might be in the minority here, but I actually want her to find happiness. I want her to have a second chance. Everyone deserves one. She thought she knew what she was doing. She thought she was going to live a better lifestyle. She ended up eating dirt, but I don't feel like you have to eat dirt for the rest of your life. It's okay to move on from that. But that also means that the man whose life you destroyed, who found happiness, who found a second chance, he gets to move on too. And you just don't get a say in that. Let this be a lesson to y'all to take a good look at the ocean before you jump the ship.